And that's it. Less than 40 seconds. Will I get it? Come on. Half bead 1400. That was my limit. Let's see if I get it for 1320. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. And come on. Did I got it? Yes, I did. I will tell you all about it very shortly. And here it is, guys. My new acquisition. The van is about to go away. Well, not just yet, but the van is going to go. It no longer makes sense for me to keep the van because on my other house the van was like a storage for me. I no longer need that, so the van is going to go. And in order to replace the van, I thought about buying something fun to drive, and I thought about this one after a little bit of research. There is more to it, that's why I got this core, which in due course I will take you through. But this is what it is. It is a little bit obviously it's a 20-year-old car, guys, remember that. It's a 2002, late 2002 TT 225 with the BAM engine. It is a little bit battered, as you can see, especially the front bumper. There's a massive crack in there. The guy gave me a bunch of parts with it. There is another bumper on the boot that the guy gave me, apparently a good bumper, so well, it looks like it's the same color actually. So it might be, let me have a look. It's still locked. But there is another bumper inside, and I believe it's actually the same color as the car. There is bits of rust, as you can imagine, from a car with this age, so am I going to try to get this done. Brakes are a little bit shorted, so we're gonna probably have to replace all the brakes. This is a project car for me to do over the next few months, just get it all tip top. And yeah, this is what it is. So it's an Audi TT, and yeah, the brakes definitely needs doing. The exhaust, something happening there, and the exhaust, the tip on that side is a little bit lowered, so we're gonna have to fix that as well. I'm not sure what happened in there. And yeah, there is also other issues with this. I think ABS light is on along with the ESP light. Not sure what the problem is yet. I think the guy sent me some lights as well with it, some headlights. The guy said all the parts are on the boot, so we'll have to go through that later. Yeah, that's about it. Engine wise, it starts fine. I believe this thing has been remapped. I do have the paperwork, which I'll take you through later. I think it's been remapped to about 272 brake horsepower. Has been dynoed at that. So yeah, what else to say? There's not a lot more to say. There is a few changes I want to do on the engine. Intake wise, replace the intake and other stuff around there, the intake to the turbo and some other bits and bobs I want to do. These wheels will have to go to be painted. Yeah, there's a little bit of work to do onto it, but yeah, I think even this video is going to be done along in the due course of the next few months till we get this done. But for now, let's gonna unload this thing, because I need to give the trailer back, and I actually need to work on that Mariva that is right there just at the back. The Mariva came on the trailer. Although the Mariva works and drives, there's no power steering, there is loads of electrical issues with it. Anyway, I need to do that so I can give the truck, the trailer and the Jeep to the owner. But yeah, so that's where we are. Let's gonna unload that and go from there. Okay, and all the Audis pretty much from this era suffer with this problem, as you can imagine. That was loads of lines dead. Some of the lines were really dim, so this was bad. Just got a replacement. Just finished to put it back on. Do a quick test. And look at that. Everything working. Beautiful. No more deadlines. But like I could have showed you before, but guys, I'm not making videos for this because there's so many videos on YouTube on how to do this that it would be just another one of the same, so it was pointless really to do it. I've also bought a spares or repairs cluster on eBay. Obviously the screen comes completely gone, but it comes with everything else because so basically what's happening is, and I've noticed that on first of all, this motor has been glued to the board from the other side. I might leave it if it's working fine, but it should come out like this, okay, when you dismantle the cluster. The problem is, the needles, they don't hold, look. It should be a tight fit so it stays there on the shaft, and then obviously as the shaft spins or turns, the needle turns. Look at this. See? It doesn't hold. Someone has been, I believe, given some heat on these needles, tried to make them to sort of tie them up a little bit, but he obviously damaged this. So I bought a spare. I've also seen that when you'd have the car running, the revs would stay down, like the needle would come like this, would stay like that. It was not this needle, was the other one, but the revs would stay like this. And when you would rev the car, sometimes it would move a little bit. Obviously the shaft would make a little bit of friction on this, and would kind of try to push it, but obviously it was not enough. So I bought a spare one. I should be able to take the needles from it, hopefully. Hope that is not a It's not a common issue as well. If it is, all I'm gonna do, guys, is just put a little bit of super glue on these before I put them in. Put them in quick, put them in position, and leave them. That's it. But the first thing I wanted to do, obviously, was this screen. This is a little bit of it puts down the car as soon as you turn the key. Having all these pixels off is not very nice. So got that done. This is done. So now we're gonna wait for the other parts. Then I'm gonna put all the cluster back on, and that should be it. So let's gonna move into the next problem. ABS. I already found the problem with ABS, but it was something so simple. Again, visual inspection was something so simple that I'll show you just what it was, and then and that's it. What else? It is one of the buttons for the heated seats was pushed in. Got that sorted. The clip came off somehow. The clip was not holding the button very well. So when you press the button to come out and then you turn to regulate the heated seats, one of them was all pushed in. Got that fixed yesterday as well when I took this off. And we'll see what we're going to do next. I don't know how long I'm going to make this video. Maybe I'm going to split this into bits when it's something more concrete regards to something. I might make that a separate video. But for now, it's just bits and bobs. Maybe I just do a half-an-hour video and I capture everything from start to finish if I stop talking. So let's go to the next. Okay, and this is like a week later, maybe more. I've just been finishing to put the bumper back on and the new crush bar. I'll show you. So the crush bar has been pushed in there, as you can see. It was behind the bumper, wouldn't really make much of a difference, but for 17 quid I just got another crush bar. Just put the bumper back in place. So that was the reason why the bumper was actually cracked. It is still cracked in there, but it doesn't really matter. So what I've done is I put two pieces of metal on this side, and on the other side was also start split as well, where the brackets are. There's two brackets here at the back. So I put two pieces of metal. I don't know if you can see inside. Maybe you can. There we go, that plate. And then I just rivet. You can see the rivets in there, here, and on that side, over there. So I just rivet everything, so it's really solid now. And I've also been fixing this headlight. These headlights, they have, I think it's 1, 2, and there's one here, 3, and one here on the side. There is 4 supports. Every single one of them was broken. The light was just here hanging about, just wiggling. It was not even secured. So that's now done. Just been putting the wheel liner on the inside. It's gonna need brakes. Look at that. It's gonna need brakes, but I have plans for this to get some bigger discs and probably different calipers. Yeah, I know about this fender is a little bit, but I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, I know about the Brembo 18Z from Porsche 996 and from the Q7, I believe. They fit here with a small adapter bracket and they can take bigger discs. But I don't know if I'm gonna go that route yet. I haven't decided. But it definitely needs a brakes on this. That's for later. So yeah, that's where we are. I've done the other side already. I already had the new, or not the new, already had the liner in place. Everything's done on this side. Yeah, so secured the bumper again, as I was saying, and everything's done for now. So we'll see what we're going to do next on this thing. But it slowly starts to come, the sun is slowly start to come together, and we'll see how it goes. And before you guys be wondering why I decided to leave the original bumper, I forgot about it, because I mentioned the guy gave me another bumper. The other bumper, although green, is completely different, and although this one in certain angles already look, as if you look at the fender, already looks slightly different color, but still way more similar. To be honest with you, at certain angles you don't even tell that is a different color. It's difficult to actually show you, but at certain angles it really looks different, but then in some other angles it looks the same. It's a slightly different shade, I would say, but it's very, very similar. The bumper the guy gave me, however, is a completely different green. It looks even worse, so I decided to repair the original and just leave the original that came with the car, just in case you guys are wondering why I left the same one. Okay, the next thing for today, seat has been removed, and what I want to do is I want to fix this lever to adjust the height of the seat. This came broken, and me being a small guy, I really need this to work. So I don't know yet how I'm going to fix it, but we'll take it off, get to it, and I'll see if I can come up with something. And look at this. No parts required. Beautiful. Job done. Let's gonna put the seat back on, but first let's gonna give it a clean while the seat is out. Right, just got 2 new side lights installed. One of these bulbs, LED bulbs, has several LEDs off, and you could really see the difference. That doesn't really matter for what it is. But today, guys, 24th of December 2022, I just want to show you that I have now the new exhaust installed. You can see the mufflers right there underneath. Okay, there we go. The car, it sounds way less noisy now. Unfortunately, I didn't took this phone with me to record. I only have a few pictures. The exhaust on this is this exhaust here. I got it from eBay. There's no publicity attached. It's from a brand called Gravity. So obviously the car had the prop shaft reinstalled, so I do have 4-wheel drive back on, or the Quattro system, and obviously after that you put all the shields and then the exhaust. Even this exhaust was supposed to be, well, brand new and a straight fit on this car. We had to modify this exhaust. The exhaust would fit, but right in the middle, you can't really see here now, but right in the middle of the exhaust would drop way too much, and I didn't like it. So we ended up cutting the brand new exhaust and modify it slightly so it would fit in a slightly different way, but in a way that I liked it much more. So this is what it is. Another thing that I've noticed while I was installing the exhaust, I didn't at the time, it looks like this bumper didn't belong to this car, neither this diffuser. So as you can see here, the diffuser bends back in, and on this side someone just cut it. So it looks like someone got a bumper from 180 and cut it off to fit on this one. So as you can see, the gap on the exhaust is also different, because this distance here, whoever cut it too big, this distance here is way narrower than on this side. So I'm gonna have to get a diffuser for this, although they are not that cheap. So I'm not gonna get it now, but yeah, so the sound of the car is a little bit more groovier, if that makes sense. More of a deep sound now, but it sounds a little bit or it definitely sounds less noisy than before. So the exhaust that we removed, which was that one, I have it now for sale on eBay if anyone are interested on a straight exhaust. And that's it now. So the next things now, I'm waiting for parts still for this, for the brakes. So I should soon get the suspension for this, the coilovers. Then I will be getting the discs and all that good stuff. And we are getting there, slowly but surely. Okay, so today what we're going to be looking at to see if I can repair it or not is yet another issue with the TT. So one of the things that I've noticed on the TT is that when you drive, so basically there is some play on the steering. Now when I was doing the exhaust, while I had the car on a lift, we checked all the front ball joints, track rod ends, etc, etc. We found some play on the top mount for the shocks, but because all of that is going to be replaced, I'm not to bother with that for now. But we couldn't find any play anywhere else. The car looks like it has some bushes on the wishbones already from Powerflex. At least they look the black stuff. They are definitely not original, and it looks to me like Powerflex, which is good because I was to replace that anyway. But basically the issue with the car on the steering is that this movement here, so I'm showing you here now, you see this little bit, this movement has no input on the steering at all. It's just pure play. So doing this doesn't move the wheels basically. Now driving around the corner is not too bad, but when you go on the motorway 60-70 miles per hour, as you probably know, even if you go straight, you are always doing tiny adjustments. And the problem, because I have no adjustment here, sometimes the car just shrivels, just goes like from side to side, and because I need to turn this beat and then another beat to compensate, sometimes it's difficult to keep the car 100% straight. I mean, it's not like if I go to the other lane, not even close, but it is a little bit weird to drive the car like this. And I've been avoiding to drive it until I get this sorted, so I've been actually driving the Corsa. And today I decided I would come and have a look, try to figure out what is causing this issue. Because I thought if I need to take the rack out to either get it remanufactured or repaired or to replace, then I want to do all of that before, because that needs the subframe needs to be dropped. I'll be doing all of that before I do the I don't want to spoil it, before I do the rest. So but I quickly found where the problem is, and I'm going to show you that in a minute as soon as it stops raining, because at the moment it is still raining, or not, maybe it stopped. So I need to get out of the car and I'll show you exactly where the problem is. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly where the play is. So as you can see right there where that UJ is, right, so you look, I want you to look right there where the UJ meets the shaft. So that shaft that goes through the chassis is the one that goes straight into the rack. It's part of the rack, of the steering rack, and this is the first ball joint. Now I wanted to look right there, so I'm going to turn the steering. I'm going to try to put a light there so you can see it. Let me just zoom in a little bit, like so. Now I wanted to look at that. You see that? You see the UJ moving on the, you see that play? So there is where my problem is. Now I don't know if it's just that 10mm bolt that is loose. We're going to try to tighten a little bit that, see if that's the issue. Okay, and everything is tightened, and I even put, what is that? There we go. I even put a counter net on the other side with some Loctite. Don't really need it, but there's no play at all now. I don't understand why these would get loose, but just in case I just put a net in there, and it's spot on now. So we're gonna go for a quick drive test, or quick test drive, just to make sure he's good. But it looks like to me he's done, so another problem fixed. Now let's gonna go into the next. Okay, and here we have it. So no, it's not the honeycomb diffuser. Those diffusers are really expensive. At around £100 for a piece of plastic, I would not be paying that. I bought this one for about £35 or something like that. It's definitely from the 225, as you can see. Obviously this is that side, but as you can see, so as I showed you that side on the back on a previous clip, that side has been cut, and has not been cut. Well, it's not too bad, but it's not 100% the way it should. But as you can see here, this folds in, so it's definitely from a 225. It's painted black. It's gonna look just fine. So what we're gonna do quickly is try to take it off, that one, and install that one, and see how it looks afterwards. And that's it. Old one is out. I think I'm just gonna bin this thing. What do I need this for? So let's gonna put the new one in. Guys, it looks so much better now. So much more uniform on both sides. Really, really cool. It looks so much better. Really happy, really pleased with the result. So now let's gonna move into the next thing. pusher. Yes, the TT had number plates upgrade because the space was wrong. It was after the L, and that would be illegal. And I don't want to risk £1,000 fine. And the video for the TT is actually going to be wrapped up here. I was not planning to do it this way. I was to take you through the lot, everything that's been done on the car. But two things. One of the things is not going to happen now because which is the coilovers. Any decent coilovers would cost me at least £1,000, and I just cannot justify to spend that money right now. So that's gonna have to stay. To be fair with you, the car handles quite well. It has some sort of coilovers there already because the springs are kind of yellowish. They're all rusted, but I can see they used to be yellow. And I'm sure that is not the original springs from Audi. So there's some sort of coilovers in there already. And the car seat's relatively low, and it handles quite well, to be fair with you. So for now it's going to stay with what is in there, and then in the future I will upgrade that. And second, the reason why I'm going to wrap up here is because the TT is getting one of the upgrades that, if you watch the channel, at some point I said I might not going to be doing it, but now I am. And I came across a really good deal. And spoiler! Ooh, spoiler! Ooh. Right, so there's a video coming for you guys, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned, and you'll see the video. I'm going to take you through start to finish on that upgrade, and I think that's it. So I'm going to wrap up this video here, guys. And one quick thing as well, I might reveal now why I bought this car. Obviously the car was bought as a replacement for the van, sort of. Just have a car that I can take to work, etc., and to run around, because I didn't want to use the M5 for that. And second, because I'll be doing some track days with it. So don't know if I'm going to record any of that, but yeah, I have a group of friends that do often. They do track days. I went a couple times with them, but I'd like to start to do it a little bit more for real, if you wish. Have some fun and enjoy the car a little bit, and that's why he's getting the upgrade. Haha! Stay tuned, guys. With no further ado, hope you enjoyed the video. If you do still have any questions, any comments, you know how it works, put them below. And like always, thank you for watching.